Hello! Welcome back to another episode of FXck The What If. My name is Aaliyah, and I just wanted to start this one off by thanking everybody who has continued to listen and share and like my posts. It really does mean a lot that you guys keep listening and enjoying my content. Jeez. So, I'm happy to put it out. We're back this week on Monday with another episode. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about values and perspectives and why those are really important. I did briefly touch on the subject of values in my first podcast, Dating as Gen Z, really touched on just why having values that are at least similar or that align with the partners can make or break your relationship. So I did want to just expand on that idea. So when it comes to having values and what the heck that means, it really, in very simple terms, is how we lead our life. What's important to us? What do we prioritize or see has more value than other things? And I'm not talking about like the difference between platinum or gold. I'm talking about moral values. Like, do you value honesty by making sure that no matter how difficult the conversation, you are going to have it and be truthful? Do you value fitness? Going to the gym or at least staying active? Do you have a healthy diet and a set schedule for how you uphold your value of fitness? Are you a dependable person? When you say you're going to do something, are you actually going to do it based on the sole fact you said you would? These are all things that are important to us on a level that goes below the surface. It is why we are nice to the waiter every single time, no matter what the service we get. It is why we don't steal things, no matter how easily it could be to get away with it. It's our bread and butter to life. Values are very important to us independently. For me, I know I would much rather be hurt with the truth than coaxed with a lie, because at the end of the day, I believe that lying is a waste of time. I believe that if you do have something important to say to me and you care about me, you are going to tell me how it is, no matter what that may do to my feelings, because at the end of the day, you value that I hear the truth over something that's going to make me feel better. It's really important at this age, at least, to have some idea of what is important to you. We're at a time in our life where we are moving away from our comfortable routines, whether that be school every day, work every day, or seeing the same people every day, and we're transitioning into this adult landscape where everything is very uncertain. The most important thing you can have with you in this adult world where we know everything is pretty much fucked is our values in life as our compass to navigate us through life. Holding our values close allows us as well to see things in ways that relate directly to us. And I mean like to our upbringing, to the way we were raised, to the way, I don't know, the bird pooped on you when out of all your classmates that one day. Like, your values are tightly wound in how you perceive the world. If you think no matter how hard you try or no matter what you do, the outcome is still going to be the same, that's definitely attached. That perspective is attached to a value that you hold close to you. And it's really important as an adult to do the work to figure out why and how it is going to help you navigate this fucked up world. I don't want to say the world's fucking terrible, okay? That's not what I mean when I say the world is fucked. I mean, as adults, we know that there is no gold at the end of the rainbow. And our values are what help us sleep at night. To know that we are doing everything in our power to ensure our little bubble of this world is what it should be. There's a huge difference as well between values and character traits. Now, somebody who tells the truth may not value honesty the same way they value something like popularity or open-mindedness or efficiency. They all vary in respect to that person and what they've prioritized, what their hierarchy of values is. For example, athletes. I don't know how many of you have friends who are professional athletes, but I do know personally their time is probably number one. If it's not fitness and lifestyle and how to stay in shape, it's their time. For people who, athletes, have a goal, and they have a time period for them to achieve that goal, whether it be the next fight, the next race, the next game that they're going to play. They know that there are certain things on their schedule that need to be ticked off before they can indulge in any other aspect of their life, whether it be friendships, whether it be leisure, like not that clubs are open, but drinking, social time, extracurricular. They have positioned fitness as a value of their life so that not only can they achieve success in their field, but so they know who is going to be able to respect that value within their life. They understand that their partner knows how they view their career, how much they value fitness. And their partner, is going to take it upon themselves to not only uplift the athlete to perform at their highest, but they are also going to provide the space that person needs to achieve the goal that they're working towards. These values are really what help us excel in our interpersonal relationships. We love to talk about things that make us passionate. We love to hear from our friends cool and exciting ways that they've, enhanced or made their hobby more efficient. Things like that. And when you have people around you who are willing or have similar values to yourself, it makes life a heck of a lot more enjoyable. For myself, I am not, I wouldn't say that punctuality is my most important value, but I do think it is something that I hold close to me. I think when I tell somebody I'm going to arrive at a place at a certain time, that's very important. I will communicate whether or not I'm running late, because the value for me here is time. I know that we've agreed to have whatever exchange it is at a certain time or place. And if I'm not going to meet that time that we set, that goal that we set, I need to make sure that you don't feel like I'm hurting your feelings or I don't respect you because I'm wasting your time having you wait on me. I will do everything in my power to get there on time, if not early. However, if I am late, I will respect you enough to be like, look, I'm going to be so and so minutes late. We can reschedule this or you can keep waiting. It's totally up to you. Just know I'm on my way. Those are values that value of time to me is very important because I know I respect my friend's time, and I would hope that if the roles were reversed, if I was the person sitting at the table with a glass of water and my menu, that I'm at least getting a text message letting the waiter know, oh, my friend's 5 minutes out, rather than sitting there thinking, damn, I look like an idiot. Maybe I should just eat these chicken wings by myself, Stuff like that helps you be productive in your friendships. It's things like that help your friends achieve their goals. When not only you have values that align, but you can see eye to eye and understand how that person wants to reach that level. At the end of the day, you're in this interpersonal relationship to enjoy life together. So you may as well make sure that each person's perspective and outlook on life is held to a standard where they feel appreciated and acknowledged. Now, when it comes to perspective, I think values have a lot to do with our outlook on life. Of course, values determine how you interact with life, but your values also determine how you perceive the world. As somebody who doesn't really care for popularity, that's not something I would say that I value. When it comes to making sure that I am perceived a certain way, frankly, I don't give a damn. But that talks to my perspective. I do not think that how people perceive me has an impact on my life. Okay, maybe it'll make me cry a little bit, shed a little tear. Nah, not really. Maybe it'll hurt my feelings for a split second, but at the end of the day, I know myself and I know who I am. So when it comes to how I perceive celebrities and how I perceive people who want to be on top, no matter what the cost, I have my own reserved opinions on the matter. But my lack of value and popularity directly impacts how I perceive success based off of other people's thoughts on myself or others around me. You also can't tell people how they perceive things, how they view the world. Not because their values may not be the same as yours, but their values may reflect on their perceptions differently. Especially for people who are quote unquote broke people mindset. A lot of us, especially at this age, are kind of feeling the difference in economic standings. And I mean, what your bank account looks like compared to your friends. It may be somebody's greatest investment if they literally save up for a Louis bag. Cool. That's what your friend wanted to do. Even if it was the last dollar in their bank account, they wanted that bag because it was what was gonna make them happy. They may want to show an image of wealth. They may want to just accomplish this goal because they are goal oriented and that's a value they have. Whereas to you, your perception of that bag being their goal might seem silly. Especially if you think about that being the last dollar in their bank account, but them still wanting that bag for whatever value, whatever reason they've given themselves is worth it. You may value money differently than your friend. And that's okay too. It's also great to step in and share that perspective with your friend who you may not think is as financially responsible or fiscally responsible as you would hope for them to be. In that regard, those values and those perspectives are absolutely beneficial to share. You can totally help influence a person's growth and change, especially as their friend. That's what you're there to do. Not just encourage their decisions, but also to support them when things get rough and to be honest with them. Perceptions are definitely heavily influenced by your values, especially when you take into consideration things like social media importance, things like, we already talked about it, things like money, things like how they present themselves to the world, the way they dress, what they're wearing. Those values may be deep-rooted in parts of their past, like where maybe, for example, their parents, when going to certain events, wanted to make sure they were dressed in their best clothes, wanted to make sure that they had the most up-to-date things, no matter what that would have cost their parent at the end of the day. Because the parents, it all cycles back to their value and what they think is important to them, and how they are going to project that onto you and to the world. That broke people mindset can definitely stay with a lot of us, especially us people of color. And I don't want to exclude non-people of color. I do want to also say, when it comes to visual differences, like being a visible minority, I'm just going to pretend like that's not a thing for this episode. It's totally a thing. Black people and POC are not interchangeable, but we're just going to go with people. That broke people mindset can stick with us for a very long time, to the point where you can be a penny pincher, where you're saving every single cent and you're not willing to splurge on anything. That's where having those other perspectives from your friends who have had different experiences, to have different values, benefit you as a human being. That the value that we put on our finances, the way we value our relationships, the way we value our time and our hobbies and efforts, all dates back to how we were raised as children and how we took those lessons into our adulthood. To be the people we are today, or to at least learn from where we've been so that we can do better now. Honestly, perspectives are hard to view when you cannot understand where they're coming from. And that's where the importance of empathy and sympathy come into play. If you can take into consideration your values and take a step back and think like, why is this affecting that person so strongly? It's going to help you in other aspects of your life to problem solve and to make sure that the person you're speaking to, the person that you're helping, feels acknowledged, feels as though they're not alone. Feels as though the way they think is not stupid or less than. It's okay to have different values and still be friends. Like, having religious friends as a person who's not religious, it's so possible. It really just depends on how much you guys are willing to give and take in those relationships to enjoy one another's company. It does also come with a great deal of acceptance that nobody's values are going to be exactly the same as yours. The more you try to make people who you want them to be, the less they want to be around you. The less you want to be around them. The beauty of us is that we're all extremely different and we all come from different walks of life. To have these values and to be comfortable enough to share them with peers is what makes this world worth living. Like I said, to have those shared experiences with your friends, to have those deep and important conversations that challenge you. It's not going to be easy to have those deep conversations with somebody who may value popularity more than they value honesty. It's up to you to decide what sacrifices you are going to make those relationships work. To see eye to eye with people whose values may not align in any way with your own. To see that other side of the story when they couldn't possibly wrap their brain around your idea. To get down on their level and hear them so that they can hear you. It's also a great place to start in knowing whether or not you want to be friends with someone, whether or not you want to have that relationship with someone. Our values are one of those things that if they change, it's because of a catalyst in our life that has evoked that change. It's usually not by choice. Think of it this way. Our values are the goggles through which we perceive life. And that's on period. Anyways, I think that's where I'm going to stop this episode. Thank you for those who made it to the very end. This was a really fun episode to record. If you like this content, of course, I'm going to thank you right now for sharing it with your homies who could use a little piece of advice. But, yeah, until next Monday, my name's Aaliyah, and fuck the what if. Just do what you want.